preschool teacher said today's parent-child activity was hide and seek, and I was supposed to find my son and his mother within the designated area. Then my son called me from the playground saying he couldn't find his mom. At first, I thought he was joking. Leo, sweetie, did mom just find a really, really good hiding spot? Is she playing a game with you? I asked, laughing. No. Ms. Davis said Mommy and Mr. Vance disappeared a long time ago. Mr. Vance? My voice went cold. My son's innocent voice came through the phone. Julian Vance. Mommy says he's the handsomest of all the grown-ups. I remembered him instantly. The man who always dropped off his daughter in a perfectly tailored suit, his Windsor knot tie done just right. This little girl was in my son's class. I had even met his wife, a delicate, beautiful woman. Leo, tell Daddy, how long did the teacher say they've been gone? I asked, trying to push down the anxiety rising in my chest. Like, the whole field trip, he answered in his little voice. About half an hour, I'm on my way, buddy. I hung up. I glanced at my watch. 11:48 a.m. 20 minutes later, I screeched to a stop in front of the preschool. Mr. Hayes, I'm so glad you're here. The teacher rushed over. Your wife and Mr. Vance are both missing. We've been looking everywhere. Take me to the staff lounge. I cut her off. My gut told me everything. If something was happening, it was there. She hesitated, but I didn't give her a choice. Take me, I said coldly. When she pushed open the lounge door, the room was pitch black. Reached for the switch. The lights came on, and the sight before me froze me to my core. Chloe and Julian Vance were on the sofa, locked in a passionate kiss. Her clothes were a mess, her face flushed. They jumped apart at the sound. Chloe's face went ghost white. Ethan. She scrambled to fix her clothes. It's not what you think. Oh. But Vance was calm, even arrogant. He stood, adjusted his tie and said, Mr. Hayes, I apologize you had to see this. I just stared at them. Rage burned in my chest like wildfire, but I couldn't lose it here. It's not at my son's preschool. Miss Davis, I said without looking back, please, take my son to the playground for a few minutes. Once she was gone, I turned to Chloe. Is this how you play hide-and-seek with our son? Her face went pale, her eyes filled with tears. Ethan, let me explain. Explain what? How you ended up making out with a married man in our son's school? Or how you left our 5-year-old alone outside? Show some respect, Vance interrupted. My head snapped toward him. Mr. Vance, I suggest you shut your mouth right now, or I won't be able to control myself. He stayed quiet. Chloe started to cry. Ethan, I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Wrong? I laughed bitterly. You think a simple sorry fixes this? You cheated on me with another woman's husband in our son's preschool. She reached for me. I swear it was the first time, and it'll be the last. I pulled away. The first time? You really think I'll believe that? Vance spoke up again. Mr. Hayes, what's done is done. We can discuss this calmly. This is a preschool. It's not a good look. I looked at his polished face and smiled coldly. You're right. It's a terrible look. We'll talk some other time. I turned and walked out. Ethan, where are you going? Chloe ran after me. To take my son home, I said without looking back. On the drive home, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. From the back seat, Leo asked, Daddy, where's Mommy? Mommy had to take care of something, I forced out. With Mr. Vance, I slammed on the brakes. Thank God for the red light. Leo, we're not talking about Mr. Vance anymore. Why? He always buys me candy. I took a deep breath, because he's a bad man, but Mommy said he's good. Mommy said he's handsome, nice, and gentle with everyone. Mommy was wrong, I cut him off. Why? Because Daddy said so. Back home, I sent Leo to his room to play. Then I collapsed onto the sofa and lit a cigarette. My whole body shaking, my phone wouldn't stop. Buzzing, Chloe kept texting non-stop. Ethan, please answer. Please. I'm so sorry. I know I messed up. Just give me a chance to explain. Calm down. We can talk this out. I didn't respond to any of it. The scene from the staff lounge kept replaying in my head, the woman I had loved for 10 years kissing another man at our son's school. And not just any man, a married man. I stubbed out my cigarette, grabbed my phone, and opened the photo album. There it was, the parents' group picture Chloe had sent me months ago. I zoomed in on Julian Vance's face. Perfectly handsome, charming smile. The kind of man women easily fall for. But now, all I felt was pure disgust. From his room, Leo shouted, "Daddy, I'm hungry." I realized it was way past lunchtime. "Daddy will order something from DoorDash." I placed the order, then opened my laptop and started searching Julian Vance, a partner at an investment firm, very successful. His social media was full of photos with his wife. They looked like the perfect couple, but I knew the truth. It was the kind of man who would cheat with another man's wife in a preschool staff lounge. I dug deeper. Eventually, I found something interesting. His old company had been acquired after nearly going bankrupt. And then ding-dong. The food was here. "Leo, come eat," I called. He ran out quickly. "When is Mommy coming home?" he asked. Paused. "I don't know." His little head dropped. "Miss Mommy." I forced a smile. "It's okay. Daddy's here with you." Watching him eat, a terrible thought hit me. If Chloe and I divorced, what would happen to Leo? He was only 5. He needed his mother. But how could I ever forgive her? So I was lost in thought. My phone rang again. It was her. I answered. "Ethan." Her voice was shaky, full of tears. "If you've got something to say, say it. Please, just let me come home. We can talk." "Talk about what?" "How you betrayed me. I know I was wrong. I swear it will never happen again. And you think I'll ever believe you again, for Leo's sake." I laughed bitterly. "For Leo's sake. Where was Leo when you were in that staff lounge?" Silence. "Do you know who told me you were gone?" "Your son." She broke down completely, sobbing. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "Come home," I said. Her crying stopped. "Really?" "Yeah, pack your bags and come straight here, Ethan." Her voice carried fragile hope. "Have you forgiven me? You'll find out when you get here." I hung up. Leo looked at me. "Daddy, is Mommy coming back?" "Yeah," I said, ruffling his hair. "Finish your food and then nap, okay?" He nodded. When he was asleep, I went into my study. I opened the safe and pulled out a stack of documents or prenup. I'd insisted on it back then, and she had called me unromantic. Now it looked like the smartest decision of my life, according to it. In the event of divorce, the house and most assets belonged to me. And if the marriage ended because of infidelity, the guilty one gave up all custody rights. I snapped a picture and sent it to my associate. "Prep the divorce papers," he replied instantly. "Do you need us to gather evidence?" "No need. Already have it." In the staff lounge, I had secretly recorded a short video on my phone. Only a few seconds. Long, but more than enough. I set my phone down and went back to digging into Julian Vance. The deeper I went, the more I found. His company was preparing for an IPO, and as a partner, he held a lot of shares. If a scandal about him came out. Now, a cold smile spread across my face. Just then, I heard a car pull up outside. Chloe's car. I took a deep breath and fixed my expression. A moment later, the doorbell rang. I opened it. Chloe stood there, eyes red and swollen from crying. "Ethan," she whispered, moving as if to hug me. I stepped back. "Get your bags. Down and wait for me in the study." She froze, then nodded softly. "Okay." Once she was seated in the study, I pulled out my phone. "Sit," she obeyed nervously. "Ethan, I cut her off before she could spin another excuse. Look." At this, I shoved my phone across the table. On the screen, a grainy video played of Chloe and Julian Vance in the staff lounge. Their heads leaned close, their laughter soft, their hands brushing in a way that said everything words could not. Her face drained of color. She looked as though she'd been carved out of stone. You recorded it?" She whispered. "I didn't." Answer. Instead, I slid a stack of photographs across the table. A private investigator had followed them for weeks. Chloe and Vance at a cafe. Chloe and Vance shopping together. Chloe and Vance slipping into a hotel late at night. The silence between us was heavy, suffocating. Finally, I broke it. The divorce papers are ready. She recoiled, shaking her head. No, Ethan, no. I can't lose you. Please don't do this. You lost me the moment you betrayed me. She dropped to her knees, clutching at my leg, her tears staining the fabric of my trousers. Please. Please, just one more chance. For Leo. For us. My jaw tightened at the mention of our son. The prenup is clear. Infidelity transfers custody. I will raise Leo. You'll get supervised visits. Her sobs grew desperate, her grip weakening. I pushed the papers toward her again. Sign them. Or I'll send these photos to Julian's wife. Her eyes widened, horrified. You wouldn't try me? With trembling hands, she scribbled her signature, her tears blurring the ink. When it was done, I stood tall, gathering the papers into my briefcase. Pack your things. You're leaving tonight. Her eyes darted down the hall toward Leo's room. At least let me say goodbye. He's asleep, I said coldly. You'll see him again when the court says so. Her face broke, but I didn't flinch. She dragged her suitcase to the door, cast one last look at the apartment, and was gone. When the elevator doors closed, I collapsed against the wall, sliding to the floor. My chest shook with silent sobs. I hadn't wanted this, had loved her once. But love couldn't survive betrayal. After what felt like hours, I wiped my face and picked up my phone. My fingers hovered before I sent the message. Get me Julian. Vance's itinerary. If Chloe thought I would simply lick my wounds and walk away, she didn't know me. And if Julian thought he could walk away untouched, he was about to learn how wrong he was. The divorce moved fast. Chloe fought tooth and nail, but the evidence was overwhelming. The court granted me primary custody of Leo, with Chloe restricted. 2 supervised visits. The first time she saw Leo in the visitation center, she broke down, clutching him like a lifeline. I miss you so much, baby, she whispered, her tears soaking his hair. Leo, confused and frightened, clung to me when it was time to leave. Daddy, why can't Mommy come home? Because she chose someone else over us, I wanted to say. Instead, I knelt and hugged him tight. Mommy made a mistake, but I'm here. I'll always be here. Chloe begged me more than once outside the courthouse. Ethan, please, don't take him from me. I'll do anything. I met her pleading eyes with a calm that wasn't calm at all. You already did enough. Word spread quickly. Families talked. Neighbors whispered. The photographs, the affair, the divorce, it all became public knowledge in our circle. Chloe's reputation crumbled. Friends avoided her. Invitations stopped coming. Even her own family grew distant. Her parents called me once. She's broken, Ethan. Please, don't be so harsh. Ask her why she thought Julian Vance was worth destroying her marriage. I replied and hung up. She had chosen her path. Now she had to walk it alone. But it wasn't enough. Julian Vance strutted through the office halls like he had one. Like he hadn't just destroyed 2 families. That arrogance was his mistake. I gathered every piece of information I could. His missed deadlines, his questionable expense reports, his pattern of manipulating junior staff. Quietly, methodically. I fed it all to the right people. Compliance officers, board members, even competitors. It didn't take long. One misstep, one leak, and his empire of charm collapsed. Julian was investigated, suspended, and eventually forced to resign. His reputation, spotless for years, was stained beyond repair. The man who had once been the golden boy of our industry was suddenly untouchable, and I didn't lift a finger publicly. I just watched. Chloe tried to rebuild, but every step forward crumbled beneath her. Jobs slipped away once employers learned of the scandal. Friends who once adored her turned their backs. Even her own reflection seemed to accuse her. Julian moved out of the city, unable to bear the weight of the disgrace. Lone jobless, he faded into obscurity. Chloe was left with nothing but regret. And me, I rebuilt. Slowly, painfully, but with purpose. Leo became my anchor. Each bedtime story, each school pickup, each laugh reminded me why I had fought so fiercely. One night as Leo slept soundly in his bed, I stood by the window. staring at the city lights. I didn't feel triumph. Not really. Revenge hadn't healed me. Nothing could erase the pain of betrayal. But I felt closure. Chloe had chosen her path. Julian had paid his price. And I still had the one thing worth protecting, my son. The storm was over. And for the first time in months, I could breathe.